I am Michael Jordan.
I'm Matt Schellenberg.
Bucky Dreger.
Matt Peters.
Derek Allard. I'm Brendan Berg. We are Royal Canoe, and we are on the Revue.
I'm Ben. I'm with the Revue. I'm here with Royal Canoe, and we're at my buddy's place, Union 613. What do you guys think?
Pretty awesome.
Beautiful.
Pretty nicely
spot. A little different for an interview, but it's kind of cozy.
I feel like we're kind of at a boardroom table here.
Boardroom table.
Yeah.
Quick drink.
You could listen to my orders and then follow suit and implement. Anyway, so first congratulations on your Juno nod last year. Like, pretty cool. I mean, you were nominated, I think, in the alternative
Album, yeah.
alternative category because I mean, you guys really play music across genres. It's hard to really categorize you into a certain area. But so what do you think in terms of being labeled as an alternative band?
I think that's like the best label for the bands that can't fit into the other categories.
It's safe.
It's
It's very safe.
yeah. They're not rock, they're not pop, they're not rap. Well, I guess they're
Alternative to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird label, really. I mean, alternative to what, I guess, really. And like you think about like alternative isn't describing a sound in any way. So it's kind of
It's negatively defining.
Yeah.
You're not something.
yeah.
But
You're not
that's
Avril.
fine.
You're not
I'm
Avril
happy,
Lavigne.
I'm really happy to
At all.
not be those things.
Yeah, totally.
But you've also been defined as an electro pop band, which even I would say that's not quite.
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Someone asked me the other day what do you guys define your genre? What is that? And it's like probably like a terrible thing, but I've just never really been able to pin down like, oh, this is what we sound like. And maybe once we can actually verbalize that abstract thing, which is our sound, we can maybe we'll have some success. Maybe that's like the last step.
Yeah.
Figure out who the fuck you are. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the fact that we're making music that we can't necessarily just easily describe. You kind of let the music do the talking, I guess.
So with that point, when you get into the studio and you start writing music, how do you kind of start and then end, and how does the different sounds and who comes up with what, or is it kind of a collective, someone comes up with a...
Just start with something that fascinates us, that entertains us, that excites us, and just kind of build from there without trying to kind of fit it into a certain round hole, square peg. Sort of thing.
I think we often we'll start with one vibe or one drum beat. Often we do start with a rhythm, and we'll just continue to layer until it sounds like white noise, and then we'll start hitting the mute button randomly, and then once you have that sounds like a bunch of monkeys in a room with a typewriter, and I don't know if it's really that far from that. But I don't know. We kind of we do kind of make music by subtraction too, where there's 6 of us and we all want to contribute something, but no one in this band is really has ego issues where they have to have 3 parts they wrote in the song, and no one really cares if they're necessarily writing the part for their instrument that they're going to play live. We're all kind of contributing to each other's arrangements and parts. And then as far as how do we know when it's done, I don't know. You don't really. I think that you could continue. It's always going to be even if you're the greatest artist in the entire world, you would only be able to probably declare your work 90% done, I think. Because there's always tweaks that you can do. There's always additions and subtractions that you can undertake.
Do you guys have any sounding boards at home where you'll test your music and get feedback?
I think one benefit of having 6 guys in the band is that
We're gonna do it for ourselves.
Someone can work on something all day by themselves, and someone else or a couple people will come in later and can kind of pick out the bits that are resonating with them, and then there's just kind of always a conversation going on about different ideas between everyone, I think.
And it's very rare that all 6 of us are together at the same time.
Yeah.
It's, when you have 6 schedules,
They'll
it's hard to get everyone in the room. At home. On tour, we're together more than enough. More than enough.
Often.
This is, yeah.
But I think when all 6 of us, when it's close to the end of the songwriting process, if all 6 of us feel like it's done, then you have a pretty good sense that, okay, if 6 of us feel like we've taken this thing as far as we can take it, then there's a good chance.
And do you remember where you were when you found out you were nominated for a Juno?
I rolled over in bed and grabbed my phone as one
Yeah.
does in the modern age. You're like, oh, I'm alive now. I must quickly have information, and then I hit the Twitter app. And
For
it
me,
said,
some guy called me about an interview request and started with congratulations. And I just woke up. I forgot about the interview, and I was like, oh, thanks. For what? And then he's like, you're nominated for a Juno. I was like, oh, shit, cool. And I think I swore a bunch inappropriately at the guy. 'Cause I don't know why. And then, and then I like Googled it. It turns out he was right.
Google, the great determining factor if something's true or not.
Yeah.
How about for you, Michael?
It's on the internet.
Yeah.
I think I was just at work. I think I got a text from Bucky about it.
Yeah, it was the same for me.
You guys work that early, eh?
I did 10 o'clock. When people work.
Yeah, that's that early.
You guys were at work when we woke up and looked at our phones.
I think some people kind of fail to realize that you might be a band, but in this day and age where there's so much music and so many bands, and as an independent band, you also have other jobs, right? Like you're doing other things with your lives, like
Yeah, you got to scramble to, fill in the gaps, like have a place to live. And some of us have, I think actually there was a stretch where all of us were avoiding paying rent, which is the thing that you strive to do. Like, how can
I think it was 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
Nobody in
for-
the band had rent.
And that's the
That's
struggle.
pretty
Like, how can you do that and then maintain your dignity of not living with your parents? And so then there's that, or living with your parents in some cases, that you just end up trying to navigate that whole, that territory, because you can't really have all the amenities, and you can't have the lifestyle of being, someone who has a normal job if you don't. And especially if you're, spending all the time, you could be making money, doing this. It's great. I'd rather do this, I can tell you that much.
Well, let's do the other thing. So we're gonna, for our viewers, we're gonna do something called the quiz, which we're stealing from TSN and their hockey panel. So thanks to James Duffy and Bob McKenzie and Darren Drager and all the other gangs. So you guys can pretend you're experts. You could also pretend you're like John Tortorella and look at me strangely and say, screw that kind of thing. Okay.
All right.
You can do whatever you want. You can go off the board, and some of the questions will be open-ended. So go ahead, right? So the first question actually pertains to Michael. So what attributes does Michael possess that's similar to his namesake, Michael Jordan?
Oh,
Is it A, is he charming?
No.
Is it B, he's just as athletic as Michael Jordan? Is it
pretty athletic,
C,
yeah.
Pretty athletic.
is it C, he wears Hanes underwear? Or is it D, is it the hairline?
I hope not.
It could be the hairline.
It's yet to be seen.
D is yet to be determined
Yeah.
because Michael's dad is pretty bald, so we'll see.
Yeah. That's why I wear a hat.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is only adding to your hair loss.
Well, you're 2 inches shorter than Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're pretty good at frisbee.
I'd
pretty
say
athletic,
I'd
dude.
say it's athletic. He's got a Michael Jordan jersey. He keeps in the
No, the
van.
question was as athletic as Michael.
Oh, well, nobody is.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can jam from the free throw line pretty consistently.
He can get the air with it. He can get the air with a frisbee.
Yeah.
Baseball career was not good. Not good.
His appearance in Space Jam was
I
really
never
good.
saw Space Jam.
It was great.
Describe what's the plot of Space Jam?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh,
Cartoon basketball.
He gets sucked
And Michael
down.
Jordan.
famous
You
ba-
have 2 sentences. Okay, that's one.
famous basketball stars turn to monsters.
Right.
Michael Jordan's enlisted by Bugs Bunny.
Is it Bill Murray in it?
Master
Yeah.
P. Master P is on
I think
the
he's the
soundtrack.
caddy.
Fantastic.
Master P's in it?
He's on the soundtrack.
Like before prison?
I had the tape.
I think so. It is when the first album. First record was
Something to
out.
watch on the road.
Yeah.
So next question. You guys actually had mentioned about rent, and in another interview, I can't remember who said that you're always lacking money. So who's the accountant within the band?
Yeah.
And
I
who's
got stuck with that job.
yeah?
Yeah.
And who's the spender?
Oh,
Wow.
I would say.
These two.
Okay, well, I would say the most frugal is probably Michael when he wants to be, and but then like
we have necessity.
these two have a penny pinching ability that definitely exceeds the rest of us. As far as spending goes, I would definitely say that these two fellows right here.
Says the accountant.
Says the accountant. I know where the money goes. Let me tell you. Often we'll be. Derek is, and they're actually, we're all pretty. I have to say, we all have like a generous streak, but I think as far as with money and drinks, Derek is by far takes the cake. Every once in a while, we'll be out and about, like playing a
Brendan's
show. Yeah, we'll be playing a show, and we'll go to a drinking establishment, much like this one, and
Drink shows up.
yes, all of a sudden we'll each have a drink in front of us, and then we'll say, Derek will say that the suitor made an appearance, and that's his alias, his alter ego,
Oh,
where he
that's
comes.
you.
Yeah, yes. I don't know if that means he spends a lot. He's just generous.
That's good.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Canada Day was just a couple weeks ago, so we had to ask a Canadian question. Who do you think is the most important Canadian in history? Is it A, Leonard Cohen? Is it B, Tommy Douglas? Healthcare. C, is it Don Cherry, since we're kind of doing a panel?
Oh God, no.
Is it D, is it Laura Secord? She's more than just chocolate, as you probably know.
Right.
Or is it E, Alex Trebek? You're off the board too.
No Ron McLean, eh? Okay.
Not Alex Trebek.
It's definitely not Don Cherry. If it's Don Cherry, I revoke
Of
my
that list,
citizenship.
Tommy Douglas.
Tommy Douglas,
for sure.
for
Yes.
sure.
I was just
Leonard Cohen close.
The
second.
serious answer is Tommy Douglas.
I was just sick, and at this festival, the festival sent a doctor to me in my room, and it was.
Actually, we can describe two separate scenarios, which will definitely explain why Tommy Douglas is the most important Canadian. So you're sick,
Yeah.
and a doctor comes to your hotel room, costs you $50,
Yeah.
and you get all
Everything
of
I
the
need.
antibiotics that you
And you
could
get
ever
that
need.
back too.
And
And
I
you
get
get the
that
money
back.
back. Someone gives you a check for all of
Someone
that.
shows up to my room.
Right. So we were in the
Trained
States,
professional.
and Brendan had a nosebleed, and it ended up costing. You got insurance, and well, maybe you can describe the ordeal.
I had
but
health insurance when we left. Like the number one rule, we already knew this, but you get travel health insurance when you're traveling in the States, when you're touring in the States,
Absolutely.
especially. I ended up, the stubborn nosebleed wouldn't go away. I ended up having to get surgery and probably racked up a bill close to $100,000 in the States. And so, fortunately, I was covered. It's been a headache trying to arrange all of the billing after the fact, but yeah, Tommy Douglas, number one.
yeah, I felt.
Yeah,
Tommy.
Big Tom. You should write a song about Tommy Douglas. Here's a question for you. What's the worst question I could ask you? Is it?
Okay.
You can go off the board. Though. You can go off the board. Is it A? What can fans expect from your live show?
Yeah, there it is. That's number one.
B. Who are your influences?
That's a close second.
C. What do you guys sound like?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
D. How's the weather in Winnipeg?
That's pretty bad.
Or E. What's the worst question I could ask you?
Is there an all of the above? I'll give you the worst one
Okay.
that we've received.
It's gonna be his next question.
So, Royal Canoe.
Yeah. We got
Hi.
that.
I
Yeah.
think that was
Yeah. One.
I also think that where did the name Royal Canoe come from is a bad one.
Yeah.
Because it's just such a boring answer.
Yeah,
It's just like,
that's
I don't know,
that's
it's
our
not
goddamn
worth
fault.
going into
Yeah.
it.
For just not having an
It's very
interesting name.
understandable. the
If you want to know
curiosity.
where the name Royal Canoe came from, just Google it.
Yeah, somebody else has asked it already.
Yeah, exactly.
Personally, I don't like asking the question, what can fans expect from your live show?
I really dislike that question because
Music?
there's no way to explain it unless you like get up on stage and like have a sword fight. There's no way to like explain it in a way other than just going to see it, which is what people should do. I mean, we
It's
don't
what
have
is
we don't
difficult
have
is us
anything.
describing what our music is like.
Yeah, we have
It's
nothing
good.
sensational. We don't really do anything outrageous. So I mean, if we did, maybe we need to do more outrageous.
We play
things
a
so
lot
we
of
can answer
music.
that question.
Or
better.
just say that we do.
Yeah, there's gonna be a sword fight.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
That
fireballs.
decapitates
I
a live
usually-
chicken
yeah.
and then uses
Actually,
it to play the keyboard.
I
for
kill a
most of the
different
set.
member every night, so this is, Bucky joined the band like 2 days ago.
Whoa,
Yeah,
Yeah, look out.
that's impressive.
yeah.
Last question. Since you have drinks in front of you, And I have to thank my friend Holly for this question. Okay. What beverage best complements your music? Is it A, beer? Is it B, a rye and coke? Is it C, scotch, whiskey, bourbon? D, a martini? Or E, some sort of fruity drink? You're off the board. I think it's kind of
all of the above again, isn't
Some
it?
sort of fruity drink, I bet.
Brendan, you look like you got an answer.
Well, I was
sooner
actually
in your head.
thinking red wine goes pretty well with Royal Canoe, but
Like maybe
I
like
don't know,
before a little
maybe all
sexy
over the
time? Is
place.
that what you're thinking?
yeah.
Of course you're thinking that. Sure, I like that.
I don't know. Hennessy and Coke. How about that?
What do you say, Derek?
I don't know. Not a martini.
Why not?
I just
It's just
that's,
we're not that
that's like
sophisticated.
That for me, that kind of like goes with like
Jazz.
and
Yeah.
like lounge. There's something about whiskey because you know you can. There's a sophistication with whiskey, but you can also kind of like go off the deep end with it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like a whiskey drunk. You know, it's got its particular place in one's body.
Right.
But you can also just, you know, you can have a nightcap at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Just a casual sip with dinner, maybe post dinner.
You have a neat with ice.
Party,
Yeah, and I'd say whiskey has gone with Royal Canoe perhaps the most.
Mm-hmm.
It's helped Royal Canoe.
As far as Royal Canoe drinking
we
it.
do still have some in the van.
We usually travel with a bottle on hand.
Yeah. In the back of the van. Actually, our,
Yeah, it doesn't get passed around during the travel.
although we do have a
There is
license.
a licensed lounge.
We have a
In
license.
the van, yeah. We took out a seat. We licensed it ourselves.
We're sovereign territory when we're in our van.
Wow,
sir.
That's so awesome. I'm glad you guys didn't do any John Tortorellas with me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hope you enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
That was a little different. Anything you want to say to people back home? People in interweb?
My mom.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for caring.
Actually, my mom watches everything, so she will watch
Yeah.
it.
Hi, Matt's mom.
Yeah.
Hi, Mrs. S.